December 12, 2022. At around 11 p.m., Cherokee County Communications received a 911 call indicating a disturbance, with several gunshots fired. Deputies arrived 20 minutes later and attempted to make contact, but were unsuccessful, recognizing that there was an armed suspect present and the potential for a hostage situation. The sheriff's office obtained a search warrant and requested assistance from the Cherokee Indian Police Department SWAT team. The suspected shooter engaged in a verbal altercation with officers and emerged from a camper and confronted officers. Except, most of that never happened. The actual events leading up to this situation are still.
In case you guys needed more reasons to not trust the police, here you go. That's all I gotta say.
Unknown, as both departments refuse to release any new information, but video footage captured from inside the residence shows that when the SWAT team arrived, their first step was to throw a Rainbow Six-like drone into the home. This RC car was equipped with cameras, allowing them to view what was going on inside. Finding that the two occupants were asleep in their bed, the SWAT team woke them up with knocking and using a PA system.
Imagine sitting in your home and you hear something like that outside. If you did have a gun, you're probably going out there with your gun in hand. I'm going to speak for myself. If I heard something like that in my house in the middle of the night, I'm going outside with my gun.
Wait. What's going on? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Unsure of what was going on, the residents make their way to the door.
What is going on?
On their way, they find the police drone on their floor and pick it up.
Step outside and talk to him. The fuck is that fucking thing? I don't know. What's that? Come outside, David. Step outside the door onto the deck and show us your hand.
This isn't the first time I'm watching this, but this is the first time I'm noticing this man stepped out of bed and the first thing he did was put a cigarette in his mouth.
What's going on? What's up? Jason, we just want to talk to you. Come outside.
With their hands in the air, the occupants exit their residence.
What? Show us your hand.
The woman exits the residence. After being shot multiple times, the man crawls his way to the doorway to put his hands out the door, showing he had no weapons.
I'm shot! I'm shot! Please! Shot! Can you hear me? I can hear it! There's a CC can!
Hands up, as they stated, and the first thing they did was shoot. Why be a police officer if your goal is to kill people? Just be a criminal. If your goal is to run around the streets and shoot people, just be a criminal. Drop the badge, drop the act. You're not there to protect and serve. You're there to, have a good time. Real life Grand Theft Auto, apparently.
After clearing the scene, the officer tells them that an ambulance is on its way, which raises the question, why wasn't there one on scene already?
I don't have a gun! I don't have a gun! I didn't have a gun! I didn't have a gun! Got it clear. I didn't have a gun! I didn't have one! I had to remove Turkey police, am I here now? Yourself! Turkey police, am I here now? Yourself! Please, you have your best.
They look like military going in that house. All right? They look like military. They come in there like they're out of, what's that video game? Call of Duty. Drones and all. For one man.
Oh, yes, they're on their way. You shot me right there. Where are you here then? Take my chest. Okay, the ambulance is on its way. I have no gun. Hey, master, hold on. Hey, start working on him. God damn it.
My exact same thought. You guys walk past the person on the ground. Okay, fine. You want to make sure there's nobody else in there, but you just shot somebody. And I must say, your biggest concern seems to be yourself. Your biggest concern isn't rendering aid, isn't trying to make sure this person stays alive. No, your biggest concern is to go search the house, and you take your time coming back to, quote, render aid. Like Lackluster just said, why wasn't there an ambulance on scene? Right? You clearly thought this was going to be a dangerous situation. That's why you brought the guns. That's why you brought the vest. That's why you brought the helmets and the night vision, everything, because you thought it was going to be a dangerous situation, right? So my question is, why didn't you bring the ambulance? Because at the end of the day, you didn't think you're the one that's going to need it. If they needed it, you could always call it. But you came with the vest. You came with the helmet. You came with the night vision. You came with the drone. You didn't need the ambulance. They did, right? They would need the ambulance, which they did. Priorities, right?
Hey, start working here now. Work it. Work it.
The officers run a secondary sweep and realize there's cameras inside.
Let's do a secondary sweep. Fuck. Bro, fuck. Hey, cameras.
The next day,
When have you ever done your job? When you ever done your job correctly, realized you're on camera and said, "Oh," like you told on yourself. You told on yourself. Again, so many of these situations where it's not like, "Oh, listen, we're just so dumb we don't know how to do our job. We're just so reckless we don't know how to do our job." No, you know you messed up. Without a shadow of a doubt. And what they did after, even when they knew they messed up, you'll see.
the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office released this press statement, which is where they claim the man was armed and presented a potential hostage situation. They also claim that he engaged in a verbal altercation and confronted officers when he emerged from his camper. They then charged him with communicating threats and resist, obstruct, and delay. At least 3 news agencies ran stories about the incident, depicting the encounter the same way that the sheriff's office did, one even claiming that the man eventually came outside and confronted officers, forcing them to shoot him. However, once the video was made public, and it was made obvious that the statement was incorrect, the article
Again, they look like they're in the military.
articles were retracted, and the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office released this statement nearly a month and a half later, essentially shifting all of the blame to the Cherokee police, claiming that they weren't on scene, and that the initial press release was prepared by the county attorney based on information that the Sheriff's Office received from the Cherokee Police Department. The new press release also uses this interaction as an argument for why they need a tactical team of their own. Let me know what you guys think down below. Was SWAT justified, and whether or not you think this situation
I'll let you know right now, Lackluster. I believe when you go into a situation like that, and your main concern is making sure your well-being is well handled, that tells you a lot. When you walk into a house, commit what I would consider, allegedly, is a crime in my eyes, and you see a camera and your first thought is, yeah, there's no covering it up at that point. You told on yourself. Again, these cops insist on whether it's on a body cam, whether it's on a recording, whether it's on whatever, talking to other cops about it. They tell on themselves all the time, whether it's through their actual words, through their actions, or just what they do. Guys, I appreciate you kicking it with me for another video. Again, I always say it. If you needed more reasons to not trust the cops, you come out there with your hands up and they shoot. Not all of them are like this, but like I always say, the ones that are not have to work 10 times as hard. Guys, thank you for kicking it with me for another video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.